Coach, we talked a lot about Tomlin being on the hot seat and Aaron Rodgers looking over the hill. Do you think the Steelers silence their critics?
No, not at all. I mean, when you look at that game, now look, I think this was what Aaron Rodgers was hoping for. So he didn't have a throw over 30 yards in the whole month of November. Then he has 4 of them.
Yeah.
Then he has 2 throws that are plus 20. Then he runs the ball in. So it was a really good.
He looked great.
Yeah, it was a really good game for him. So as much as he was trying to project like, hey, maybe you guys will shut the hell up about Tomlin. It was really about me. It's really like stop talking about me. And if you want to stop talking about Tomlin, that's cool too. But in terms of the game, they got ridiculously outrushed. There were 2 controversial calls that could have easily gone the other way. And collectively, they're 1 game ahead of Baltimore, but it wasn't by no stretch a signature win. Yeah, it was a positive game for
But it was
Aaron.
kind of a season-saving win, though, is I guess why I would say it. I don't think it's enough to silence the critics, but given how the previous week went, had they lost, it stabilizes Baltimore. It puts them in such a uphill battle to make the playoffs. So I do think it was obviously a massive win, and I think Aaron deserves credit for playing great because I thought he was great.
He was great.
I think if you're I think most Steeler fans probably know better, but maybe a young or naive Steeler fan, that game might end up being a little cruel because it makes you think, oh man, AFC is wide open. Our defense has been underachieving, and when Aaron plays that way, and it is right.
I felt like that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you felt that way.
You're an idiot.
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was your opinion.
Aaron Rodgers, high ceiling. Defense gets better.
I think Aaron is a great enough player that as long as his body's functioning, that game is in him. But an old enough player that game can only exist 3 times a season. You know, because I did think he was awesome. Yeah. I just don't think that is replicable more than maybe 1 time the rest of this season.
I mean, those passes to DK Metcalf, he should be able to make. All right, but to answer the question, no. I mean, they're 7-6. A year ago with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, they were 10-3 at this point.
Okay.
And you look like you'll make the playoffs. I mean, it's still up in the air, but they look like they'll make the playoffs. So they made the playoffs the last 2 years. Aaron Rodgers was not brought in to make the playoffs. He was brought in for them to have a chance to get to the Super Bowl.
I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Maybe in his mind, he's thinking, I want to go out at least having made the playoffs. But, I mean, in Pittsburgh's mind, in the fans' mind, it was – let's get this guy can get us closer to the Super Bowl, if not to the Super Bowl. And I've seen nothing to make me think they can do
playoff win drought. That was, definitively the goal was to actually make the playoffs and win a playoff.
If they win a playoff game, I don't think that silences Tomlinson's critics. Tomlin's critics.
Oh. Yeah, I never saw the Aaron Rodgers the Pittsburgh Steelers thing working ever. I know you felt strongly about it. And now, he had the game. It was a nice game, but it's sort of like a lunar eclipse. Like it just shows up every now and then, but it's nothing that you can count on. And with the way the defense is playing, to be out rushed the way they were, at, what was it, 217 to 34, which that's a crazy number for anybody. That's a crazy number for Pittsburgh. And then the week before, wasn't it the most rushing yards ever for a home game?
Yep.
So
yeah, and it was against the Bears and a backup quarterback who's a monster, and then also with the Bills with a quarterback who broke his, whose hand or wrist or whatever is all messed up, against the monster of Josh Allen. So let's slow our roll a little bit here. Okay, and also if you want to talk about last season, they were able to get a bunch of wins last season, especially in the beginning of the season, specifically because of their defense. Okay, they won 18-10, 13-6, 20-10, and then as soon as their defense started giving up more than 10 points, they lost games. It was lost, loss, loss. Okay? So, let's chill out here, okay? They've actually improved their points per game. 22.4 points per game in 2024, and in 2025, 23.7 points per game. Now, their defense has got worse. That's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. to not be able to give Aaron Rodgers like any type of credit here. And Flowers is pretty insane. And, you know, they gave up a ton of rushing yards. Again, like I said, to the Chicago Bears, top run team, the Buffalo Bills, top run team, the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Like they're a top run team, but it might not look like that statistically right now because of obviously Lamar hadn't been playing for a stretch. So that obviously is going to change things. But we obviously know the Baltimore Ravens, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson and company know how to run the ball. So you're talking about having back-to-back-to-back, you know, great teams that know how to run, that have quarterbacks that are huge threats to run. Like, let's chill out here, okay? Let's chill out. Like, it's okay to give some flowers to the Steelers team. I mean, size and snorts. I don't want to keep going back to this, well, but I'm forced to. And credit to Nick, because he did say, like, he has to give, you know, Aaron Rodgers credit, but, like, Kansas City Chiefs aren't even in the playoffs. They're not even in the playoffs right now. And the Ravens are not even in the playoffs right now. And yeah, Lamar went down all that, and so that definitely impacts it. But then the Steelers just beat the Ravens with Lamar. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They just did. It's the way it's unfolded. I mean, the Indianapolis Colts are not in. The Baltimore Ravens are not in. The Kansas City Chiefs are not in. The Miami Dolphins are not in. The Cincinnati Bengals are not in. The Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, the Titans, they're not in the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys are 6-6 with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, they're not in the playoffs. They have 6 wins. So, you know, listen, I do believe that the Steelers should be under pressure and under fire because they should be able to build a team and be a team that can get 9 wins, that can be like the J, you know, like when you look at what the Jags have been able to do, what the Chargers have been able to do, the Texans, right? So, like, I'm on board. I think criticism is okay. And so saying, like, do enough to silence critics, it depends what the critics are saying because the Steelers are definitely open to getting hit from both sides here, from multiple angles. From, like, the critics of, like, the Nick Wrights of the world, the fans' critics, right? The Mangenides, and what were they saying about Aaron Rodgers? This isn't going to work. Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season. You know, like those types of criticism, or like, hey, can the Steelers finally get over this hump, win some playoff games and be a legit contender, right? Like, it depends on, like, what are we criticizing in this moment? Because they're all very different things. They're all very different things. I think the criticism about Aaron and what he could accomplish and what he'd be able to do with this Steelers team, they have done enough to silence that. And again, this defense hasn't been great. If this defense was just even, you know, top 10 or just legit competitive, like the Chargers, the Texans, etc., the Eagles, the Steelers would be even better positioned. I mean, they would now have those 8-9 wins or so. And then you're talking about a whole different ball game here, and they don't have that. And so there's some of that criticism, but it's not on Aaron Rodgers. So the Rodgers criticism, he's done enough to silence. I do believe, like, what are you expecting him just to put this team on his back and just win game after game after game and be a superhero? Like, come on. That's insane. That's absurd. That's not fair. The fact that he's been playing and even having any of the type of success that he's having right now is really impressive, especially considering the injuries that he's actually had. And so I think that deserves a lot of credit. The Steelers as a whole, the moves that they're making, setting up a quarterback for the future, the team, the defense, etc., no, they have not done enough to silence those critics. And if anything, those critics should get louder because you should be like, what the heck? If our defense was better, if our defense could be, like, you know, on par with these other great defenses, we then actually really could win a Super Bowl. We actually could do damage. People are talking about, like, how far can the Texans go right now? And it's like, that offense isn't looking great. And yet, you know, it's like you have throwing. If you gave the Steelers that defense, I mean, hey, I like those chances with Aaron. I really do. But that's obviously not the case that they're in right now. So that deserves some criticism. But then also to, like, downplay what Aaron said when he was, like, sticking up for Mike Tomlinson. Well, he's really talking about himself there. No, he's not. He's defending Mike Tomlin. It's like unreal. It's like they just don't want to give Aaron like any type of benefit of the doubt, any type of win, any type of victory. And it's just, I don't know, man, a little bit exhausting. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Did they do enough to silence the critics, whether Aaron Steelers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.